Hello, I live in Norwich in Norfolk, perhaps the flattest county in the United Kingdom. So trying to find inclines to climb can be a bit of a challenge. In this video, I'm hunting hills in Norfolk. Hello and welcome to Norwich. I'm here at Ketts Heights. That's just to the north of the city of Norwich. We cyclists need to be able to get over all sorts of terrain, including those dreaded hills. Climbing hills on a bike can be a means to an end. Maybe you just need to get up that high ground to get somewhere. Or the ability to ride up a hill can often just give you personal satisfaction that you managed to achieve it. And of course, you might be rewarded with a fantastic view, such as this one. But as a part of any good cycle training program, you should really include some hill work to sort of develop your strength and push you into the zones 5, 6 and 7. So typically zone 5 is your VO2 max. That's the maximum effort that you can sustain for about 6 to 8 minutes. Any harder than that and you start to go anaerobic and you push yourself into zone 6. Now your anaerobic zone is only going to last for perhaps a few seconds, up to maybe a minute, minute and a half, depending on how much training you've done. If you go any harder, then you're pushing super hard for those massive sprints, maybe 10 to 30 seconds at the most. Now you're into your musculoskeletal strength, and that's at zone 7. So the benefit of hill training is that it's going to offer you that constant resistance that's going to stop you or prohibit you from easing off and dipping back down into an easier zone. Today I'm out on my Canyon Air Road. It's an 8.0 disc with Di2 electronic shifting. It's got Ultegra group set throughout, and I've got the Garmin Vector 3 power meter pedals on either side, so I can measure my power output on my Garmin head unit. So I live here just outside the city of Norwich, and these are some of my local hills: Ketts Hill, Gurney Road, and of course Gas Hill. None of them are particularly long, but they do offer an opportunity to do some repeated hill reps. So this is it, Gas Hill. It's a 200 metre segment climbing 30 metres over an average gradient of 15%, and it's going to go up to the top, up that ski ramp. Okay, here we go. It's called Gas Hill because there used to be an old Victorian gas cylinder on the right here, which was only removed last year. Now I'm not going to ride up there at my maximum effort because I've got a few other rides to show you, but this is going to be hard work nevertheless. So that's Gas Hill. You could probably ride up that seated for most of the way, for maybe your first or second interval, but as you get tired, you definitely got to get out your saddle. So this is the beginning of the Gurney Road hill climb, and this is the road that was used in the 2010 Tour of Britain, with points available for the King of the Mountain competition. This runs up the ridge towards the prison. Now it might be that you can't quite appreciate the gradient on this little sports camera, but yeah, it's quite an incline. It's about 8 or 9%. Then it flattens off, actually dips down with a bit of a false flat halfway, with a last effort up towards the top end of Mousehold. There's the old bandstand, and there's Zach's bar if you fancy popping in for a burger. Just approaching the second part of the climb now, and this ramps up to about 12%, but it really is only short. It's a zone 7 effort. Give it all you can for about 30 seconds and we'll be up there. Here we go. Not very long, but a good shock to the system. Right, so that's enough of those local climbs. Let's head on up north to the North Norfolk coast and the Cromer Ridge. Norfolk is an English county in East Anglia and bordered to the north and east by the North Sea, with a really long coastline stretching from King's Lynn in the west, round north, round Cromer, down towards Suffolk border between Great Yarmouth and Lowestoft. The east of Norfolk is defined by the Norfolk Broads, which is a collection of man-made lakes linked by several rivers. And typically that area is very low lying, around about sea level, if not below. And it's riddled with drainage systems and pumps in order to try and keep the area from permanently being submerged. And Norfolk is for sure very flat, but anybody who has been on a bike will tell you that your definition of flat soon changes as soon as you're out on the bike. You feel every small undulation, bump and rise. So here I am, I'm arriving at Cromer. Cromer is a lovely little seaside town on the northeastern tip of Norfolk, just before the coast bends south, back down towards Suffolk. The North Sea. Well, here I am at the Cromer cliff edge with the North Sea behind me and the ridge, which I'm going to go and do my hill repeats on, just over there. So this ridge line, you might just be able to see the mast there at Beacon Hill at 308 feet or 103 metres above sea level, and it stretches about 14 kilometres down towards the west. The Cromer Ridge is known as a terminal moraine, and you might remember from your geography lessons learning about the effects of glaciation. And about 450,000 years ago there was a large glacier here which carved out a lot of the land, shifting some of the seabed deposits up and into this ridge line here that we now see today. It mainly consists of sands, gravels and grit with a few chalky outcrops. Most of the climbs aren't particularly long or steep, but there are some sections that will definitely get your heart going. So I want to show you a couple of the climbs along here, and the first will be up from the village of West Runton towards what's known as Beacon Hill, and that's the highest point on the ridge. I've just pulled off the coastal road here at West Runton and I'm heading up towards the start of the first climb. Now this road is Station Road, and you go over the little railway bridge at West Runton Railway, and I'm now on Sandy Lane. I'm here at West Runton at the Links Hotel for the first climb. It's a gentle climb up from sea level towards Beacon Hill, and I crest the ridge at 103 metres, an average gradient of about 4.4, and the total distance is about 1.5 to just under 2 kilometres from here. So here we go. This climb crests at Beacon Hill, but it's also known as Roman Camp. So to the west of this road, on the top of the crest, there's been evidence of an earthworks for several hundreds of years. And so the story goes, about 150 years ago, in the late 19th century, horse-drawn cab drivers renamed this ridge Roman Camp after the earthworks, in an attempt to make it seem a little bit more exotic and attract tourists. Now, based on the archaeological evidence alone, there's no evidence to support that there was any settlement or evidence of location of Roman activity around here, let alone a Roman camp. Oh, those rum old Norfolk boys are telling a few yarns. This is a steeper bit. As climbs go, it's not too bad. As I say, it's about 4.4% on average. There's a few steeper bits just coming up ahead, and it's really quite pleasant under the trees here. The autumnal colours starting to show as the leaves are turning brown and golden. Onto a steeper section here. Got to dig in a bit. Power's going up towards the top end of my zone 5, touching on my anaerobic zone. 340 watts. Roman Camp Caravan Park on the right. Almerton. That's the climb complete. There's a little bit of false flat now up towards the main road, where I'm going to show you the pub known as the Roman Inn. It's not just Victorian horse-drawn cab drivers that are cashing in on the Roman camp legend. So that's it for that climb. I'm heading back down towards the Sheringham Coastal Road, the A149, where I'm going to head west towards the village of Waybourne. The road is undulating and prone to strong coastal winds from the west and north, and today is no exception. The whole coast road is hilly and undulating, and there's quite a few little punchy climbs which saps your muscles and energy, and coupled with the coastal winds, you're definitely in for a good workout. After dipping down and going under the Poppy Line Railway, there's a short climb towards Waybourne, where you'll see the Waybourne Windmill on the right-hand side. Waybourne Windmill is a fine example of a tower mill built in 1850. During the Second World War, suspicions arose in the village about a couple who lived in the mill. There were rumours that the residents were spying for the Germans. The man living in the mill was Mr. Dodds, and his wife apparently had a strong foreign accent, which locals described as German-like or Austrian. The story has it that one evening, Mrs. Dodds left her bicycle outside a shop which fell over and revealed a radio transmitter. The police were informed and the couple were taken away to the authorities. The full climb is 1.77 kilometres and it rises 63 kilometres at an average gradient of 4%. Well, this is the first part of the climb. It's up Station Road. It's about a kilometre, and the gradient is quite low, about 3 to 4%. This first part of the road rises up towards Waybourne Station, which is a station on the North Norfolk Heritage Railway line between Sheringham and Holt, and they run old steam trains and decommissioned diesels. It's quite a fun day out. In fact, I think I've timed that just right. I can hear a train coming down the hill now. Here comes the train. Once over the railway bridge, the climb continues for another 23 metres vertically over just 190 metres, giving it an average gradient of 11%, hence the name Asthma Attack Hill. Well, that's it folks, that's my hill climbing sessions complete. I hope you've enjoyed this brief visit to Norfolk and the Cromer Ridge. So it is possible to do hill training in Norfolk after all, who would have thought? So with a little bit of thought, you can design some training to include some hill reps, go up those hills between 10 and 15 times, and before you know it, you've accumulated somewhere in the order of 450 to 500 metres of ascent. Not bad for little old Norfolk. Right, well, the sun has come out on this glorious October afternoon. I'm off now for the cafe. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to give it a thumb up, share and like, and until the next time, happy riding.